Hello students, so this is the third video on first module, and in this video I'll be explaining you about the different computer types. So till now we are familiar with what are the changes that has taken place in the computer system in different generations. So it may be based on their technology used to process the data, or the size, or maybe the capacity of storage of the data in the memory unit, and what technology was used in order to store the information in the memory unit. So now we have to know what are the different types of computers, and where they can be used, and how they are being classified into different types. So mainly the classification, it takes place based on their usage area. So that is if it is used in larger industries, or in some scientific applications and all, then we have to go for the higher capacity of the computers. And if it is for the home purpose or for some business purpose, then we'll be going with the smaller capacity computers. So based on their capacity and based on their speed of execution of the instructions, we are going to classify the computers into different types. So there are 5 different computer types, and the first one is personal computer. So let us see about the personal computers. A personal computer is defined as a small, relatively inexpensive computer designed for an individual user. So in our day-to-day life, you have seen, even in many of your homes also, these PCs, that is the personal computers or desktop computers, are being used, right? So they why they will be used means they are for the single users or the individual users. So we are making use of this PCs are based on the microprocessor technology, so that enables manufacturers to put an entire CPU on one chip. Businesses use personal computers for word processing, accounting, desktop publishing, and for running spreadsheets and database management applications. At home, the most popular use for personal computers is playing games and surfing for the internet. So for all these purposes, this PC is a recommended one, that is a personal computer. And in business also, we are making use of this in order to maintain the spreadsheets, and also for desktop publishing, and for accounting purpose, and for word processing. So for all these, and also data management applications. So for all this, we are making use of this personal computer. So second type of computers are workstations. So these workstations here in our like labs, so you have CAD CAM, that is computer aided drawings. So they are mainly used for drawing purpose. So here for engineering applications, for example, in mechanical engineering, if you want to design the cars or some vehicles or something, then you should go for this type of computer types, that is workstations. So these workstation is a computers used for engineering applications, desktop publishing, software development, and other such type of applications which require a moderate amount of computing power and relatively highly graphics capabilities. So main thing in this workstations is graphic capability for drawings and all. We are making use of these types of computers, that is workstations. So mainly for computer aided drawing in design purpose of the computer, like the vehicles or anything, not only the vehicles, some design purpose. For design purpose, if you want to make use of any systems, then this is the ideal one, and it will be used in the companies, mainly in the companies. So next type of computers is mini computers. So these computers are smaller, less expensive, less powerful than the mainframe or the supercomputer, but they are more expensive and more powerful than the personal computers. So these mini computers, where they can be used means they are used for scientific and engineering computations, business transaction processing, file handling, and database management systems. And also they are also referred to as the small or mid-size servers. They act as the servers, means they will be providing the service to the people who are requesting for the service. It may be including some database management system, or it may be having the file handling techniques, or some business transactions, or engineering computations and scientific computations. So everything can be carried out with the help of this mini computer types. So next is mainframe types. So these are larger when compared with the other type of computers, which till now whatever we have seen, that is maybe the workstations, maybe the mini computers, or the PC. So this mainframe is very large in size also, and also it's more expensive, capable of supporting hundreds of even thousands of users simultaneously. That is the thousands or hundreds or thousands of people can work together in this type of computers. So mainframes execute many programs concurrently and support many simultaneous executions of the programs. They can be used in this any invention purpose, or some higher industries, and also in large scale industries and all. You can make use of this type of computers. Next type of computers are supercomputers. So supercomputers are one of the fastest computers currently available. So supercomputers are very expensive and are employed for specialized applications that require immense amount of mathematical calculations. So for calculation purpose, for innovation purpose, so for development purpose, you'll be making use of these type of supercomputers, and they are very much expensive, and also they are the fastest computers which are currently available in our world now at present. So this is about the different computer types. So once we are familiar with the generations of the computer, how we are going to classify them into different generations, and how we are going to classify them into different types of computers, next thing is how the data is being organized within the computer system. So already I have explained you that there will be a memory unit. Memory unit is nothing but it is also called as a brain of a computer system. So in us, we require brain to store some information, whatever has happened before, or whatever we are reading in our college or wherever it is. So if we want to remember, then that should be stored in a memory. So similarly here also in our computer system also, if some data or information has to be stored, means we are making use of this memory system. So this memory system, it will be consisting of the data or the information or the instructions. So here how they are being stored. So these information are being stored in a computer system with the help of a memory, and in memory there are semiconductor cells, and there are chips which are mainly used for storage. So these chips, it will be consisting of huge number of transistors, and these transistors in turn, it will be consisting of the semiconductor cells, and these semiconductor cells, they are capable of holding 1 bit of data at a time. A smallest unit of data in a computer system is bits. So it can store one particular data at a time. So binary values only will be stored, either 0 or 1. These bits, it can store either 0 or 1. Okay, so next is byte. So byte means 8 bits together, we call it as a byte. So based on the capacity or capability of a computer, or the memory system which is being used within a computer, we are going to organize these bits into the bytes. And the next higher version of this is word. Word means it can be consisting of 2 bytes, 4 bytes, 8 bytes, 16 bytes, 64 bytes. So depending on the storage capacity of a computer system, we can classify them into different storage units. So first basic unit is bits, then byte, then word, then long word, and very long word. So this is about the storage. You can see here. So bits, it can store only, it can occupy only 2 digits, that is binary digits, they are either 0 or 1. So byte means it is a sequence of 8 bits. So either zeros or ones combined together, we will be getting the byte. Word means a sequence of n bits where n will be equals to 16, 32, 64 depending on the computer. So next, after we know the basic units of a memory system, we have to know what actually is a bandwidth. Bandwidth means the speed at which the data can be transmitted over a given communication channel in measures in bits per second. That is how many bits of data is being transferred